All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to crack the code on Japanese sentences. I'm going to get you your very first grammar toolkit so you can see how they really work and hopefully clear up a lot of the confusion. So, you ready? Let's get started. So, have you ever looked at a Japanese sentence? You can probably spot the words, the nouns, the verbs, but what's that invisible force holding it all together? What's the secret that makes it all make sense? Well, the secret ingredient is something called particles. These are tiny, but believe me, they are super powerful words. Think of them as the grammatical glue of the language. They tell you exactly what each word in the sentence is doing. They're absolutely essential, and today we're going to master the first three. Okay, let's grab our first tool for the toolkit. This is ha. Now, the first thing you have to know is a little tricky. Even though it's written with the character for ha, when it's used as a particle, you always pronounce it wa. Got it? Cool. Now let's see what it actually does. So, wa is what we call the topic marker. Its entire job is to shine a big ol' spotlight on the main thing the sentence is about. It's basically like saying, hey, you, listen up. As for this thing, it totally sets the stage for everything that comes next. Let's look at a classic example here. Watashi wa学生です. Watashi means I. By adding that wa right after it, you're saying, as for me, I am a student. See? The spotlight is on me, the topic. Simple, right? All right, tool number 2 is ga. This one's easy. It's pronounced just like it looks. Ga. Now, if wa puts a spotlight on the general topic, ga has a much more specific job. It's here to point out the action hero of the sentence. Ga is the subject marker. It pins down the exact person or thing that's doing an action or being described. So if you ask who did it or what is it, the word that comes before ga is your answer. It's really common when you're introducing new information into a conversation. For example, neko ga imasu. This literally translates to a cat exists. We're introducing this cat for the very first time. So what exists? A cat does. That little particle ga points directly to Neko, the cat, and says, this is our subject. Okay, lean in for this one, because this is where so many people get tripped up. Here's the difference. Wa shines that big general spotlight on what we're talking about. But ga points a laser beam at the action hero, the specific one doing the thing. Wa sets the stage, ga introduces the star of the show. Let's grab our third tool and see how this all builds on each other. This is wo. And just like our first particle, this one has a special pronunciation. It's written as wo, but when it's being a particle, you just say, oh, simple as that. And its job? To mark the target. So o is the object marker. It always follows the noun that is getting the action from the verb. So if the verb is to eat, o points to the thing that's being eaten. It literally marks the target of that verb's action. And here's a perfect, easy example. Pan o tabemasu. Pan is bread, tabemasu is to eat. That little particle o connects them, telling us that the bread is the target. It's the thing being eaten. The action of eating is happening to the bread. And there you have it, your first little cheat sheet. Everything in one place. Wa for the topic, ga for the subject, and o for the object, the target of the action. Topic, subject, object. This is a great little summary to keep in mind. Okay, theory is one thing, but now it's time to actually use this stuff. You've got the tools, so let's get our hands dirty and build a couple of sentences. All right, here's your first challenge. The words you need are ken, water, which is mizu, and drinks, which is nomimasu. So think about it. Who's the topic here? And what's the target of the action? How do you put those pieces together? And there's your answer. Ken wa mizu o nomimasu. Ken is our topic, so he gets the wa spotlight. The water is the target of the drinking, so it gets marked with O. See? It makes perfect sense. Let's try one more. You want to say, a dog is in the park. Now, the key here is that you're introducing the existence of this dog. So which particle do you use to emphasize the subject that exists? You got it. Koen ni inu ga imasu. Since we are introducing the dog as new information, we use ga to mark it as the subject. You're not talking about dogs in general. You're pointing out that, hey, a specific dog is right there. Fantastic work. Seriously, In just a couple of minutes, you've already picked up the 3 most foundational tools for building real Japanese sentences. Let's do one last, quick review to make sure it sticks.
Okay, let's lock this in. Wa marks the topic. Ga marks the subject. And o marks the object. Topic, subject, object. That is your core starter kit right there.
And that's it. You now have the first 3 essential tools in your grammar toolkit. You can actually understand and start building basic, correct sentences in Japanese. So the only question left is, what are you going to build next?